to go?
Yep.
All right. We are beginning Parks Committee meeting, and today is what, March 12th? And we're going to go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Got Alder Weary.
Here.
Alder Delaney.
Here.
Alder Presley.
Here.
And myself, so we are all here. Approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Alder Presley. Sorry, seconded by Alder Delete. All in favor say aye.
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 And that passes. Approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Made by Alder Delee, seconded by Alder Weary. All those in favor say aye.
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 And that is approved. Moving on to regular business, and I know we talked about this last week, but consideration with possible action on proposed property trades at several park/school locations throughout the city of Green Bay. Anything new on that?
Yeah, so this is the final proposal that we're bringing forward for approval. You can see that in this proposal, the school district would donate 6.85 acres of school land to the city, and then the city would donate 10.24 acres of land to the school district. And then in this memo that I put together, it gives a few bullet points as far as what conditions go along with that. And so the reason that the acreage is not a one-to-one acreage is because they have also agreed to demolish MacArthur School as part of this property donation, and there is a significant value to the cost of that demolition. So to have an equitable, fair trade, as a staff, I agree with that. I think that that is a fair trade. There is a bullet point here that does say that if TIF funds are used to demolish the building, then the school district would donate an additional 2.5 acres of land from Wilder School to the city. But that is not in this agreement right now. That's only if they use TIF funding, which we'll build into the contract with them when we get to that point. But what I will say is I did review that with the finance director, and there is no TIF funding that's available for the demolition of that building. That TIF that's in that district is a new TIF, and there's no increment in it yet. So the odds of us, putting that bullet point into effect is slim to none. But we wanted to put that in there just in case that does occur. Other than that, most of these other things we discussed at the last meeting. So I don't know if anyone has any questions or comments. All of the maps are included in here in the agenda packet showing which properties would trade and what the acreages are associated with it.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? It's basically the same. The only thing changes, you added that bullet point, right?
Well,
As
also-
far as what we talked about in closed session.
Looks like the acreage changed.
The acreage changed.
It did change since then? Okay, I was trying to.
The original proposal did have Wilder Park in there.
Okay, but we did talk about that in our closed session, that would not be, correct? Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, that's what I meant as far as what we talked about. Okay, questions or looking for a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Alder Delete,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. Any further discussion on that? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, and that passes. Consideration with possible action on the approval of a playground donation from the BCI Burke Company valued at $69,553 for the city's draft event at Lake Memorial Park. Director?
Yeah, so you'll see the packet of information as far as what playground equipment BCI Burke is proposing to donate to the city. If we accept the donation, this equipment would be placed at Light Park initially, at least through the duration of 2025. The intention is to get the equipment there prior to the draft, so that they could use this equipment for the draft events that the city is going to host at Light Park. And because some of these are going to involve installing them in footings, we are going to leave them there through the duration of the summer for all of the events at Light Memorial Park. After that, the city can do with the equipment what we want. So if we want to move all or some of it to a different park, we can do so, or we can leave it at Light Memorial Park. I will tell you that the master plan that we currently have for Light Memorial Park does not have playground equipment in it. But that doesn't mean that there isn't some value to having playground equipment in that master plan when we develop Light Memorial Park. The one other thing that I do want to point out is, I would just want to be open and honest. The city does purchase a lot of playground equipment from this vendor. We have done so in the past. We will continue to do so in the future. As a parks director, I feel confident that this donation would not sway my advice of which playground equipment to purchase in the future. This is a completely independent decision, but I just wanted to be open and honest that we do purchase playground equipment from this vendor quite a bit, or we have in the last few years. Whenever we purchase playground equipment, we do ask for proposals, so then any playground vendor can submit a proposal and they show what equipment they want to sell to the city for that price, and then we score it through a committee, and whatever equipment has the best value for the city is what we purchase. So it's not always this company, it just has been recently. That doesn't mean that we're going to be purchasing them in the future. We likely will, but I just wanted to disclose that. Is there any questions in regards to this donation?
Well, thank you for the description. And I had asked a couple questions, and I know you answered just now about whether that would stay there. One of the things I didn't see in the packet was like a map of where it's going to go, unless I missed it, at Light Park.
We're still determining that. We just know it will be placed at Light Park somewhere. We are still in the process of determining the layout of the entire venue for that event, and we'll make sure that it's placed in a location that makes sense as part of that event. And ideally, even a location that might be a permanent location. But I was hesitant to show a map because we don't have that finalized yet.
Okay, yeah, because I honestly, it would be great if it worked for in the future, so it could work around what that plan is for Light Park, because I think it's a great idea to have a playground there, because all those activities that go on, it'd be fun for parents and grandparents to have a place for their kids to hang out during it, because not all of them are overly kid-friendly, concerts, things like that. Anybody else have any questions? Alder Presley.
Thank you, Chair. Is all of the Burke branding on the playground equipment, is that just the way it's designed now, or would that actually be like the welcome to the park?
In regards to what? I mean, all of the equipment will say Burke on it. I guess I see where you're talking with all of the, I would have to look into that, and I can get that information before the council meeting. My guess is yes, but that's a guess at this point. It would be on there because this is a sponsorship towards that event.
Right.
It's not really an independent donation to the Parks Department, it is, but really their primary interest is being a sponsor for this event. So that's why I'm thinking that if it's shown on here that it has their name, that it would have it, but again, I can give you verification. I'll ask that question and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question. I see where it says welcome to Burke Park. Might be a little confusing.
Right.
Alder
And this cost includes all of installation, footings, everything for it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or looking for a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion
Second.
approved by Alder Presley, a second by Alder Weary. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that moves forward. Consideration with possible action on the approval of amendment number 3 to Rafe USA Inc.'s engineering contract for the JBS project for a total cost of $75,000. And I know you're going to go into describing, but is there anything that's going to change based on the finance committee thing?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
I was
So-
listening in.
Yeah, so the funding for the actual construction of this barn has not been approved yet. That was discussed at Finance Committee yesterday. We recommended using ARPA funding, but the recommendation at the committee yesterday was to refer to staff and bring it back at a later date for discussion and review. The committee had a lot of questions regarding the funding as a whole for the entire JBS project, not just for this barn component. Plus, they had some additional questions regarding Wello's long-term commitment to utilizing that barn. Wello was at the meeting yesterday and was, very clear with their responses, but I think that they're just looking for more information. So, because it was referred to staff and the funding for the barn is not approved, I would just recommend that you hold this item. And then when we're ready to bring it back for discussion again, to discuss funding the barn itself, we'll bring this back at that same time and have that discussion together, because it doesn't make sense to approve hiring the architect to design a building that we don't have the funding approved for.
Any other questions? Okay, so we're looking for a motion to hold.
Motion to hold.
Okay, Alder Delaney, makes a motion.
Second.
Second by Alder Weary. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that moves forward to hold indefinitely. I guess you'll let us know. Consideration with possible action on hiring Carico Aquatic Resources to replace the Joannes Aquatic Center pool filters for a total cost of $180,500. Director?
So at the 2025 bond request, we asked for funding to replace the filters at Joannes Aquatic Center. We had mentioned at the time to the Finance Committee and the City Council when we requested the funding that those filters were losing sand. So we were finding sand in the basin of the pool, which means that those filters are on their last leg, and if you don't replace them soon, they might go out during the season or very soon after. So we did quote this out through purchasing department. Only one vendor submitted a quote. It was Carico Aquatic Resources for a total cost of $180,500. That is well under our budgeted amount, so we have the funding to do this. We are familiar with Carico Aquatic Resources. They do a lot of our maintenance on our pools and aquatic centers, and they provide the chemicals for our pools. So we're definitely comfortable with this company. We're comfortable with the quote, and it fits within our budget, so I would recommend approval.
All right, thank you.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, motion made by Alder Weary, second by Alder Delaney. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, and that moves forward. Consideration with possible action on accepting a grant for $500 from Green Bay Wild Ones to convert the turf grass around the new sculptures at Farland Park with native pollinator plantings.
So in regards to this agenda item, we applied for a grant. We did receive the grant award for $500. Per the city policy, any grant award has to come to the committee for approval. So it's not based on a dollar amount. That's why this is coming forward, because it was a grant, not a donation. We're going to use that to replace all the turf on the hills at Farland Park with prairie plants. So it is kind of challenging to mow those hills on a regular basis. One second, I don't know what happened here. Where the Zoom meeting went.
Technology.
I don't know what happened,
Said it was idle for 40 minutes, and so it just quit.
but it wasn't. Just hit record.
It's weird because that's what happened at Policy and Protection, that after 40 minutes, it went away. So I was like, well, Zoom, you know how if you don't have like the professional Zoom, it times out. So that's why I wondered if it was like that kind of thing.
I don't know what happened. That's never happened before.
Yeah, Jason.
Okay, so in regards to that project, the Green Bay Conservation Corps will be the group that does the plantings, so there won't be any labor costs to the city other than what we pay our Conservation Corps members. And then the cost of the grant will just cover the materials. So if you have any questions?
Do you have any questions?
Motion to approve?
Motion approved by Alder DeLee,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and Alder Presley's park gets, what, native pollinator plantings?
I think that'll be lovely.
Yes,
I'm excited for that. I'm sure my predecessor is too.
yeah. I actually sent it to him just because there was something on the park. Consideration with possible action on the purchase of a 2025 Ford Super Duty F-250 regular cab four-wheel drive truck from Ewald Automotive Group for the total cost of $55,374.
So this was quoted through the purchasing department, through the Sourcewell quote. And so what we're doing is we're replacing a 2006 Ford F-250. The truck has 93,000 miles, the body's in poor condition, and the drivetrain has several mechanical issues. We did bond more than the cost of the truck, so we have enough money to fund it. So I would recommend approval. If anyone has any additional questions.
And it's discounted, so that's cool.
Move to approve.
Second?
Alder Weary makes a motion, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that moves forward. Looks like a nice truck. Let's see. Number 7, consideration with possible action on the purchase of two 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 two-wheel drive red cab trucks from Ewald Automotive Group for a total cost of $73,810.
So again, we're going to be replacing two trucks that are currently in our fleet. One will replace a 2007 GMC truck with 110,000 miles. Body's in poor condition, the engine uses oil, and the heater controls don't work anymore. The second truck is a 2011 Ford F-150 with 66,000 miles. The body's in poor conditions, the doors don't close properly, and the engine has drivetrain issues. Both of those are under our budget from what we bonded last year, so it's within our budget to purchase both of them.
Were you saying you want that and then you
We'll
do
take
something
it.
with it? Yeah, you just said that. That's what I thought. We'll take it.
Slide it over to DPW. Can we put a plow on it?
Hey.
We got a lot of Band-Aids.
His mechanic can do anything. Okay, so any questions for the promotion?
Motion to approve.
Oh, motion to approve by Alder DeLee,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and that moves forward, and you two can talk later. Consideration with possible action on the purchase of a 2025 brush chipper from Vermeer, Wisconsin for a total cost of $103,208.90.
Again, this was quoted through the purchasing department through the Sourcewell quote system. This will replace a 2015 brush chipper that has 4,500 hours on it. The engine has mechanical issues and it's kind of nearing its lifespan. We did bond enough for this one also, so we have enough money to cover it. It's going to be used primarily through the forestry department.
Okay, thank you. Any
Need an old
questions?
wood chipper?
Yeah.
Just keep stashing all your old stuff over there.
I don't think they do wood chipping.
Okay.
It became disabled when they fed in a used car salesman from Fargo.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Alder DeLee,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and that moves forward. Informational Director's Report.
Yeah, all I can really tell you is a lot of our time right now is spent on kind of planning for our draft events. So, and how we're going to make sure the city and the park system is looking good for that event. So it's one of our primary focuses for the next month or two, so.
Awesome, because I actually just got a call for the one on the corner of 7th and Military, which is obviously, you know, one of those ones that people are gonna see. So that, somebody was complaining how bad it looks, so I'm like, hey, we're gonna be doing cleanup. So, anyway. All right, so, looking for a motion to receive and place on file.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second?
Moved by Alder Weary, second by Alder Delete. Any further discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and that is received and placed on file. I will read this because, you know, any discussions that we had tonight will be a recommendation to council for final approval, and the next common council meeting will be on Tuesday, March 18th at 6 o'clock. And our next Parks Committee meeting will be April 9th. So, looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, made by Alder Delete,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leave that
Nice one.
meeting.
Yeah. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
You know, that Ford F-150 would be a nice retiree gift for Steve.
We should.